The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey there, everyone. How you doing? This is Patrick Moore. I want to thank you for joining us here. I'm actually redoing the webinar that I did yesterday. If you were on there, we had a couple technical difficulties, some audio challenges. People couldn't hear me. It didn't get recorded properly. So I wanted to go ahead and just redo the webinar and go over some of the things I talked about here last night. And hopefully you guys can see my screen. I'm recording this now. The audio looks like it's picking up okay, so hopefully we won't have any problems here. But I'm here today on behalf of Andy Morbitzer, who is our master distributor and co-owner of Vizionary. And I'm very excited to be here today. I've worked with Andy for many years. We've worked in different financial markets and products, and it's always been something I'm very interested in. But not only that, it's important that we have somebody that understands this industry, understands this product, understands the different dynamics of where this is shifted to. And there's really no better person to lead the way and lead the charge here than Andy Morbitzer. For those of you who are not familiar with him, he's been in this industry for 20 plus years in the financial industry, also in the network marketing industry. He originally came from Wall Street. He was the vice president of Liberty Financial. He's earned millions of dollars in the network marketing industry, written comp plans for companies, built teams of hundreds of thousands of people. So there's really no better person to take charge here and lead us into this company, into where this company is headed with the different technology and products that they've created. And what I want to do in this webinar is sort of paint the picture. I want to tell you a little bit about my story, how I came to kind of become passionate about digital currency. I've jumped in from other businesses, and I've done other things here. So if you're not familiar with me, my name is Patrick Moore here. You can find me at facebook.com/connect with Patrick. And if you've got any questions about this here at the end of the webinar, feel free to shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to help you out. Here's me and my dog, and so we're cool people. We're real approachable, and we'll help you out. And if you've got, don't worry, if you've got somebody on this webinar as well, we're not going to bring them in under me or anything like that. I just want to help out. I'm here to help and answer as many questions as I can. I know this is kind of a new topic here for a lot of people, so I'm going to break this down and just simplify this as much as I can. And in order to do that, I got to tell you the story of Bitcoin. And if you aren't familiar with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a very exciting product and company and opportunity. And I'm very excited about what they have sort of initiated and started. They are the true pioneers in the digital currency space, or in the cryptocurrency space. And they essentially went from 1 penny to $1,200 with zero marketing efforts. In fact, the coin and the economy and the whole concept was built anonymously. To this day, nobody has come forward and said, I am the creator of this program, or I wrote the code in order for this cryptocurrency Bitcoin thing to work. Nobody has come forward. There is an alias out there, and he is supposedly the guy or the lady that did create this, but nobody's come in person. There's never been an interview on TV that said, hey, you're the owner, you're the creator of Bitcoin, tell us about it. So it's anonymous in the sense that not only is the owner anonymous, but the transactions are anonymous. And the more I research it, the government wants a digital currency, but they want something that's trackable. They want something that's not so anonymous that you can go out and do a bunch of illegal activities. And that's kind of what Bitcoin became known for. In fact, different websites were propped up that sold drugs and hitman and all types of illegal activities. And it took a long, long time for them to track down the people of the websites and see who was actually purchasing product, because it was so anonymous. Now, the idea with Bitcoin originally was it was designed to be a space to hold your currency, just kind of like a stock. Now, everything I thought I knew about Bitcoin was completely wrong. I thought you could just go online or call somebody up and say, hey, I want to buy 100 Bitcoin or 1,000 Bitcoin. And that's really just not the case. In order for you and myself to go out and accumulate Bitcoin, we have to go through something that's called mining. And mining essentially is buying computers, buying these servers, and then going out and setting up your computers to go and send algorithms into cyberspace and generate these Bitcoin. The problem is I don't know how to do it. Nobody that I know, even people that have tried, that have bought the computers, bought the servers, went to the library to understand advanced algorithmic crypto communication and technology, all that stuff that's required in order to generate a Bitcoin, they said that they wanted to pull their hair out. It was so confusing and so complex, and it's just not designed for the masses. So anytime I get behind a company, a product, anything, if I'm going to promote it, focus on operations, or do anything like that, there's a couple of things that need to line up, and one of them is it needs to be an affordable solution that the masses can use. And looking at Bitcoin, even though it's grown, it's in every single country almost in the world, lots of people are using it, it's not something that is user friendly, and it's not something that's designed for the long term. And part of the reason why is, one, what I just said, is in order to get these Bitcoin, you need to go out and have these supercomputers set up to go mine these Bitcoin. And you can see here, here's a chart that I found I thought was very interesting. So at the end of 2140, that's the last year that the final Bitcoins are supposed to be mined. So there's an allocated, I want to say 21 million coins. Yeah, 21 million coins in the economy. And by the year 2140 is the last year that, that you're going to be able to actually generate Bitcoin. Now, this is very interesting. There's 20,000 plus computers working at mining new Bitcoins. So it means there's 20,000 plus people out there who said, you know what, I want to get into this space. I understand this. I'm going to go buy these computers, these super servers, understand what I'm doing here, and then they go out and they mine coins. So there's going to be a certain point, a breaking point, where it just doesn't become an efficient, affordable solution for people who even understand how to do it. There's going to be a point where that it's going to take more and more computer processing power to generate a Bitcoin that is actually valued at less than the other ones that were mined in the past. And the reason why is the more and more Bitcoins that are placed into the economy, the lower the value gets. Now, of course, we've seen the rate go from 1 penny to $1,200 back to $200. That has more to do with speculation and people dumping their money in and buying it like a stock and then dumping it because they're fearful. And it's a speculator's playground. And that's the type of people that they don't get into this to move money around. They get in this in order just to collect it as a stock. And this is one of the long-term challenges Bitcoin is going to have, is there's no user-friendly way to move money around. And if you want a real economy, you need to not only have the currency, but you need to move money around. And that's where I believe Vizionary has created a better mousetrap. What Vizionary is doing here is, instead of you going out and buying all these computers and servers and going to the library and studying all these books on crypto, algorithmic technology and all that stuff, they have created a proprietary technology that is essentially going to allow you to mine without purchasing all this stuff. So I'm going to log in my back office here, and I'm going to show you what you get. and hopefully you understand why Visionary is positioned in the digital currency space. You know, right now it's a race. Bitcoin was the first one out there, and everybody flocked to it because it's the first thing, but it's not the best thing. There are inherent systemic flaws built from the ground up that I believe are going to limit this company from scaling. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's already companies like Lamborghini. They accept Bitcoin. You can go buy a Lamborghini with Bitcoin, or you can go to Russell Branson's Virgin Galactic space tours using Bitcoin. I mean, there's some phenomenal things you can do with Bitcoin, but there's also some limitations, meaning I don't believe Bitcoin is designed for everyday use for the masses. I like the model. It's proven that it works. It grew from a penny to $1,200 with no formal marketing efforts and no real plan to move money around. So what we've done here at Visionary is we have seen what Bitcoin did, all of its strengths we enhanced, and all of its weaknesses and flaws we sort of resolved and fixed and filled in the gaps. And we made a solution that is now going to allow you to move money globally faster, easier, and less expensive than anywhere else on the planet. We want to put the power back in your hands and in the business hands and pull you away from all these banking institutions that are really kind of robbing you blind, penny by penny, dollar by dollar, every little fee and encumbrance you face, you have to pay these fees to these banks and to these institutions, these credit card companies, and it's breaking a lot of people. It's to the point where the fees are so absurd now that it's taking away significantly from the profits in different businesses that are having to use these forms of payment. So we wanted to create a solution that allows you to move money around, and not only that, the big challenge with Bitcoin is, yeah, you can move money around, but there's nothing in place to protect your money while you're trying to pull it out. So let's say you're a pizza shop. Somebody comes in at 8 in the morning, buys a pizza from you or whatever time, and at the end of the day, you go and they buy it with Bitcoin. At the end of the day, you're back at your office, you're doing your transactions for the day. Now you want to go and withdraw your cash for that Bitcoin transaction. So let's say the value of the Bitcoin dropped throughout the day. So you lost money throughout the day on that transaction. Well, now let's say it takes a couple hours, a couple days, sometimes a couple of weeks to pull your money out. Well, what happens if the Bitcoin loses all of its value? That means that money that you were waiting for is going to be adjusted. So at the end of the day, right before you get your money, they're going to look at the Bitcoin value and they're going to pay you what it's worth. That is no protection for a business or a consumer or anything like that. So we wanted to provide a technology that allows you to move this money around in real time without any delays, meaning you can exchange it into any currency globally and take that money out. So I could send Capricoin, our digital currency, over to somebody in Japan. They could open up their app, download it right there, exchange it into their currency, and pull out their cash in real time. That is what Visionary is trying to accomplish here. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I just logged into the back office. I want to show you why this is so different. Instead of you going out and purchasing computers and supercomputers, and by the way, you don't just buy a regular HP, Hewlett Packard or Dell or whatever to do this. The computers that they're using to mine this and go out and mine and do these algorithms to go out and generate this digital currency is 500 times more powerful than the best computer on the marketplace. So these computers are specifically designed to mine currency. Excuse me. So right here, you're going to see that I've been mining. I've got 45 slots mining here, 7 here, and when you start out, let's go to our mining results here. you're going to see I started here with, with 8 slots. So I got 2,000 coins. Awesome. We don't know what these coins are going to start out at. I've been told arbitrarily valued at $1 or 1 penny, but who knows? Let's just say it's a penny, just for now, just for the sake of this video. Let's say I've got 2,093 coins here, then I got 156 the next week, 220, 14,000 because I upped it. I'm like, okay, I get it. The name of the game right now is to accumulate as many coins as possible, and I can't do that with 8 mining units at a time, so I'm going to jump it up to 80 mining units at a time. So I generated 14,000 coins this week and 11,000 coins last week. Going back and looking at this, I've got 45 units mining for this week, and what's cool is there's going to be a percentage of revenue that so basically the income that comes in, 70% is going to go to cash, 30% of it is going to go towards purchasing more mining time, which is going to go out and generate me more currency. So I'm going to continue to purchase more mining units as these, as this week ends. It's going to generate me X number of revenue. So I'm going to go ahead and take it, and I'm going to go back and, excuse me, purchase more mining time here, which is going to continue to generate me more digital currency. So that's the name of the game, is get as much digital currency as you possibly can right now. Hold on a second here. Okay. So now you understand what our technology is and really why I'm so excited about this. We have created a better mousetrap. We have created a better system to move money around, and we've created a better mining solution for the masses who can now go out and affordably and efficiently, in a very user-friendly way, go out and mine their own digital currency. This is essentially the same as you going to the store and finding all the computers and finding all the servers and understanding how to tell your computer to go mine. I mean, do you really want to learn all that stuff, or would you rather just put a little bit of money into this system? And this is the lowest rate it will ever be. Mining time and the currency itself. We haven't even launched yet. Like I said, there's going to be an arbitrary value assigned to it when we do launch in July. But as of now, there's nothing. But we do know that it's going to be the very lowest rate throughout the history of the company. So one thing I want to point out here, when we do go and share this, it's important the terminology, the verbiage that we use, and that we are very careful to not call this an investment. Just before I got on this webinar, I had somebody approach me about another company, and it was a digital currency company, and they started talking investment. And I just stopped them right there. I said, I would never use that word again when you're referring to your company, or you and your company will be shut down overnight. We cannot set expectations. I've seen different posts out there, and it might be my fault. I get excited, and I do think about where this is going and future growth, but I definitely don't tell people, any numbers, or I don't tell people to go out and set expectations for the price of it at launch, or in a year from now, and 5 years from now, or what it's going to be down the road, because nobody really knows. The only way for us to increase the value of this money is to use it, not just purchase it and sit on it like a stock or a Bitcoin, but to actually use it. And this is where our technology, I believe, is going to help speed up the process and allow us to penetrate the markets much faster, because we want to be able to send this currency to anybody in the world and have them pull it out in their own fiat currency, their own country's currency, right there in real time. And we want to do this and without having the banks get involved, or the regulators, or the different institutions that are going to be nickel and diming us for every single transaction. So it's important that we go out and we share this as is. This is mining technology. You are not coming in here and you are not purchasing digital currency. You're not calling me up or Andy up or anybody up at corporate and saying, hey, I want to buy 25,000 coins. That's just not how this works. You're going to come in here and you're going to purchase mining time, just like everybody else in Bitcoin. They need to be patient. They go up, they set up their computers, and they wait. And after a while, these coins start to accumulate. And when you can purchase mining time at the lowest rate ever, and you can accumulate these Capricoins at the lowest rate ever, it just makes sense to start participating now. There will never be a better time to get involved. There will never be a better position in this company for you to get. This is the right time to join. And like I said, we're going to be launching here in July. We're going to be releasing, the different apps. There's a couple different things, and there's some things that I've had to hold back here as far as where this company is headed. I mean, I've really only uncovered one part of it, and that's the movement of the money. But what I've noticed that this company is doing is they're taking the best of Bitcoin, and then they're seeing the weaknesses in Bitcoin as well, and they've created a model around that. And then they're taking the best of another company, which will, I'll kind of hint, it's in the advertising space and customer loyalty space, and I really won't go much further into that, but we need a hook. I mean, it's great that we can move money faster, and it's super awesome that we can, move it faster, easier, and less expensive than anywhere else in the world. I mean, that alone should be the most exciting thing that you've heard today, to be able to get businesses and get people, put the money and the power back in their hands. But there is a lot more to it. We know that with what I've shared today, we would have a powerhouse, but there's some phenomenal things that are working on the back end, all related to customer loyalty and advertising that would blow your mind. And I believe it's going to bring this back full circle and really make the movement of money so much more efficient when you've got other partners working with you that are willing to accept this. And of course, there's lots of incentives for businesses to accept this as well as consumers to spend it with those businesses. But all I can say is use your wildest imagination, and that's kind of where this company is going. As far as I feel this is going to just take the world by storm when it releases these products, because right now they're so in need. There's nothing out there like this. And yes, there are other companies that are competing and racing, and the first one out there that to do this right will become the big dog in the show. And from what I've seen, Bitcoin is the big dog right now, but there's so many problems. It's not designed for the masses. The first company that can create affordable solution available to the masses, that is global, that puts the power and the money back in the hands of the business owners and the people, is going to win. And that is what I see Vizionary doing. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the packages here to go ahead and get started. If you're looking at joining and you're curious on what's the best rate, how should I do this? And to be honest with you, I would just say avoid this $97 package. I mean, you can get it to limp in, but just be prepared to upgrade almost immediately, because you're only getting 2 mining slots. I mean, I just showed you I've got 80 for last week, and it produced me 14,000 coins. I mean, 2 slots is going to get you a couple hundred coins, which, hey, it's great, but we have something called a sysrep, and we'll cover that more in detail down the road, but you want to be qualified and active for a 10-week period of mining. That is where you can maximize your revenue, the amount of coins that you can generate, and that's what's going to ultimately make you the most money, both if you're just doing this and you just want to buy the currency, or you are coming in here, you want to sponsor people, you want to share this, you want to build a team. Either way, you really want to max out your sysrep and qualify for your sysrep, and that means mine for 10 weeks. Now, like I was saying earlier, is a percentage of the revenue that you get can go back into purchasing more mining time. So depending on what level you come in at, there is going to be sort of a I don't know really how to explain it, but you won't need to constantly be purchasing an auto shipment. Now, depending on what level you come in at, and the reason why is because if you buy X number of mining slots, it's going to produce you X number of coins, and those coins can actually be used to go back and purchase more mining time. And maybe it's not the coins itself. Maybe I'm explaining that wrong, but you get points that go towards purchasing more mining time. And I don't know if it's the coins itself you're using or if it's actual points. We'll have Andy explain that down the road. But essentially, let's say you came in and bought this $300 package. You've got 8 mining slots, right? Well, you need to qualify for 10 weeks. I can't say for sure, but there is a chance that when you mine these 8 weeks, that it generates enough points for you to purchase the last 2 weeks. I can't say that's for sure. I don't know exactly how the numbers work out. I know it's more likely on this gold package. In fact, it's happened on this gold package where it generates enough units for you to go back and continue to buy more. And it's almost in perpetuity. Once you get to a certain level, it just keeps pumping out so many units that you can go back and put them towards more mining time. And that's ultimately where you want to get, is to where it's always mining for you. You could essentially come and check back on this thing every few weeks and make sure that it's still mining for you and that you're qualifying for the SysRet. And then, of course, if you're sponsoring and building a team, you're going to be much more active in this. But if you never wanted to do anything else with it and you just believed in the product itself and you just wanted to use the app and transfer money and send money and all that stuff, then you could do that with this program. So hopefully that answers your guys' questions. Just to kind of recap, we are not a digital currency store. We are a mining technology where we're producing and providing this technology to the masses so they don't need to go out and purchase computers and servers and understand all that crazy stuff. The value of the coin is going to increase over time. So Bitcoin, they had 21 million coins in their economy. We've got 200 million. And we'll go further into detail on future webinars on how the value increases on both mining time and the currency itself. But just know that in order for you to benefit from this, that we need to get this out into the world. We need people using this, downloading the app, which is not available yet, but sending money back and forth to each other, getting businesses to adopt this and different institutions to adopt this. Third world countries that don't necessarily have access to a reliable banking institution. This is the perfect solution for somebody that's in that situation. So ultimately, this is not just about collecting coins like a stock. This is about using money, understanding where the future of money is going, the evolution of money, basically. We started out with stocks and bonds, moved up to checking accounts, credit cards, debit cards, mobile banking, email banking. Everything's digital now, so it just makes sense for us to introduce this type of technology into this space. And it's a race right now. There's lots of other companies out there, but I've examined a lot of them, and most of them, from what I've seen, is just a speculator's playground and a spot for you to put money and hold it. They don't have real plans for moving money or in getting the community engaged into the technology, the system, businesses. I mean, there's so many different applications for this, and we're not here to replace a fiat currency. We want to work side by side. We can't replace a fiat currency because our model is all about exchanging money in real time. So, I mean, if there's a point down the road where they believe in this enough and this is all they want to use, great, and it could just be the Capricoin as their main currency. But you can send money globally to people, and we're going to start out in Europe. That's going to be the very first country, or the very first currency, the euro. Then we're going to hit Norway, and then we're going to hit the U.S., and then all the other countries are going to fall in line with that. And one of the cool things is once it's coded to exchange money in real time into the euros, then the rest of it should be pretty easy, because all we're doing is then looking at the exchange rate from euros to yen, from euros to US, or you know, back and forth on, you know, thousands, hundreds of different currencies. But that's the idea, is we're going to start one at a time, but once we get it down, then it's all about just figuring out the exchange rate, and it should be pretty simple from there. We should scale this up pretty quickly and get the hands, hopefully get this into as many hands as possible. And who knows, maybe down the road you'll be buying a Lamborghini with these Capricoin, or traveling the Virgin Galactic with, you know, to space using the Capricoin. I mean, that's the plan. If these big companies see the value in Bitcoin and it's got all these challenges, just imagine what they're going to see when they get their hands on the Vizionary product, the Capricoin technology, and what we have here. So hopefully I've covered everything. That's probably been about 30 minutes, and you know, this should be no technical difficulties. You should be able to hear it, see everything I've talked about. But what I want to say is look up this name, Satoshi Nakamoto. You're going to see that this is the alias, the guy. You can see it's anonymous. Nobody knows to this day who this guy is. But the very first transaction, the very first Bitcoin transaction was for a pizza. He basically said, "I'm going to send you 100 Bitcoin. Go and order me a couple pizza and have it delivered to my house." And that's kind of how it all started. Now today, looking back, that pizza would have cost him $700. So, I mean, whether or not that was a good idea or not, it got the ball rolling. It showed that people do believe in this type of product, that there is a need for an alternative currency, and this is the perfect time to introduce this type of solution here into this space. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions at all, feel free to shoot me a message. Be happy to help you out, or anybody that you've got, you know, that has questions, I'll be able to, you know, try to answer it the best I can. And I really enjoyed this. I'm hoping to do more webinars, getting into more detail down the road. But I thought this was important to share at least what I saw from a different perspective. You know, from somebody that's gone out and investigated the different digital currency companies, and really been kind of passionate about the space for the last year. And you know, I was one of the ones that could have bought Bitcoin back then, and you know, I just didn't know it. It was so unfamiliar to me. I liked it, but I didn't trust it exactly. And so you know, I wish I would have, because I would have been labeled the Bitcoin millionaire. But it's okay. You know, here's my second chance. I'm not going to miss out on a second opportunity, especially with a product that has thoroughly thought out its plans and its blueprint for how it wants to penetrate the market, and the technology it's going to be bringing to the market here. I just can't imagine being in a better place at a better time than right here, and having this opportunity to share. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll go ahead and make an announcement when we're doing our next webinar. And other than that,